intro.
Yeah, okay.
We are tWoTcast, episode 340,000, 74.
You're supposed to start with music. You're supposed to do the 2-minute countdown, you dumb dick.
Oh, sorry. Should we do that first?
Sure.
Okay, now we say we are tWoTcast 374. Right?
So
we are tWoTcast episode 374.
No, he does not. No.
Okay.
All right, everyone, shut the f*** up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time Reread Podcast. Explicit and R. Freaking rated. Jono's the wild card. Always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
You're viewing tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time Reread podcast, now covering season 2 of the Wheel of Time, a review episode.
a review episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With me, as always, is Jono
Jono.
and Tom.
Study your math.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's what you always say.
Also, study your intro. Study-
Oh man, you know how it goes, Jono.
What?
It doesn't matter.
It's
I'll
the same,
never do it right.
same shitty joke. It's actually not a joke though. Like we fuck it up somehow every damn time.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we
let's
fuck it up so
guests
much
here.
we should never point it out again.
It's never not funny to me. It's also never not glaringly fucking obvious, so it's got to be pointed out. Otherwise, it's like, well, look at these.
I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's good.
Maybe fucking it up and then pointing it out is part of the intro.
Oh, let's share the show with.
Don't let everyone know.
It clearly is.
Yeah.
It's like the couch gag on The Simpsons, but it's fucking up the intro and then talking about it.
All right. Okay.
Now, what's a couch gag?
What is a couch gag?
I'll explain it to you off air.
That sounds sexual, and I like that.
It's really not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
a kind of a reverse legs are back.
Tell me
situation.
more about it. Tell me more about it.
I feel like you can take it from there.
Oh, I take it everywhere.
No, on the couch. Just the couch.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be a couch gag anymore.
All right, dummies, shut up. Stop talking. Stop your blathering. We
Yeah.
have important people to bring out.
We're talking about
It's
important
Taffy
topic.
Bennington from Dragonmount.com.
Dragonmount.com.
Hello.
Ebony,
Hey.
hi.
Ebony, you
Like,
made it so
forever.
fast. We were like barely even started.
I know. So the Girl Scout leaders meeting, you gotta kind of sit and talk about your kids and how there's something wrong with all of them, but it's not our fault. It's the father's fault.
What else?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The fault.
I don't care for that.
Yeah.
What did you No, what were the main reasons wrong with the husbands? I'll take notes.
Impotence.
No, I mean, I honestly think it's in your DNA. I think it is just
Oh,
you like to have fun with the kids, right? So
gotcha. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a horrible thing. What a horrible thing we do.
It's not a horrible thing.
What if we
I'll
hate
give-
kids?
I would give you an example. Brian always roughhouses with the kids. Well, the kids are bigger now, and Brian's older, and he's like, they're always beating.
Oh,
up
so now
on
he's
him.
broken. Oh, okay.
Yes. And now, like, when our full-grown 22-year-old son wants to wrestle, it's not fun anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Does he not? Just picturing your son at 22 still acting like he's 5 and like, let's go. Like,
Just
Well,
jumping on top.
because Brian still acts like he's 5. It's the problem. It's both of them acting like they're 5. And,
Just jumping
and
right
me
on his stomach. Just watching TV.
in the corner with rum and cokes. Like, I question life choices every once
Alright.
in a while.
Now I want a rum and coke.
Yeah. What type of rum?
Captain
You know
Morgan.
what? Honestly, for me, whatever Brian bought. Like, I'm not picky when it comes to some things. As long as it
with
gets the
Sailor
job
Jerry.
done.
I mean, Tom, you can go get a rum and coke right now if you want.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Oh, wait. See, this is going to be all night.
No, we both just have to answer every question. That's just the way it goes.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
That's
So,
actually a
Tom,
good
what did you
idea.
think about it?
But we try to say, I'll try to say everything that you're saying at the same time. And we could do one of these quotes later.
Like one of the when we're like
Yeah.
I'm excited because Tom DeSimone, best
We'll
of
plan it
luck
for
with
later.
whatever shit Tom's going to say for this episode.
I'm glad you guys are here because I've been without
Garden.
any sort of like, I don't know. I would even say constructive criticism, a little positivity about
mean,
about the show.
well, I mean, Joe, I'm just here to look at you. So
Oh, okay.
Well-
Well, I mean, I was gonna introduce you as my second wife, but I thought it would be too soon.
So here's the problem. Brian will be jealous. My husband will be jealous. Not because I'm your second wife, because you're my second husband. That is why he would be jealous. He's like,
Joe,
I've
you
known her for 30 years. Let me get to know Joe.
I was gonna say,
I'm going to this
Nope.
episode.
2-year-old at your husband, he can't do shit.
Father-in-law loves to introduce his wife as his first wife.
I mean, you never
This
know
is
what's
my
going to
first
happen. You never know. This is the first one I've had.
Not for long. Uh-oh.
Just got to tag in accordance with the prophecy at the end of everything.
Yeah. Right,
Oh,
so,
man. There's lots
are
of
there
people here.
people? Are there people here who
look.
don't like the show? Patrick.
Oh, Patrick shows up when there's guests.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Who let that guy?
Tom, you don't like the show?
I got it. No, I do
Not
not.
my Tom.
I know.
Okay, so do you not like the show because it's not your head canon, or do you just Or are you just being Tom? Like, what's going on, Tom?
I can't do it again. You guys just talk about
Catch
the
me
show.
up. Catch me up, guys. Catch me up.
Ebony, would you like to hear Tom's review from last episode?
Jesus.
I'm afraid. I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
This might get us
Yeah.
on a watch list, but go for it.
I mean, I have it written down here.
It's already on the internet. Jono.
If only we
But
could watch it
it's
on like
funny when
YouTube
it's
or
read
something.
by not you ranting like a lunatic. So this is episode 8, -9 Billy Zanes. So we rank every episode on Billy Zanes.
Of
Of course.
you did. That makes perfect
But it's 0 to 10, and then Tom likes to say -10 billion, for instance. Those are usually his responses.
-9 was actually the highest one he's given by.
I was
You like that one then, Tom. Okay.
I just go below 0. I never really remember. Actually, I 8.
All right, go on. Joe's clearing his scrote throat.
All right, some of the fights are fun to watch, but overall,
One of
what
those
a
couch
fucking
gags.
shit show. I think I'm definitely done watching this show. It's brought nothing but anger and annoyance and unhappiness. I don't enjoy it. I will never watch another episode of this show. I'm done. I'm all the way out. I think it's a tree fire of shit. I'm never watching this show for another millisecond ever again for the rest of my life. What a fucking catastrophic, craptastic piece of pile of shit.
Well,
Literally, I'm not kidding. Winter Dragon was better. It's hilarious in the
no,
worst
that's a
possible
lie.
way. It's just this
a
is
lie.
just bad. Poorly done. Everything about this sucks. What a
to
piece of
use.
shit. Burn it to the ground.
So I'm not hearing any real
Constructive criticism. Yeah.
Well, that's just constructive things throughout the episode. That's just at the rating time.
That's the overview.
Yeah, that's the overview.
it's the overview. Okay.
That made me talk about it for an hour and a half until I can't take it anymore. And at the end, they're like, "So what did you think overall?" And
And you're like, ah!
pork, and I'm like, can't stand it.
I mean, Tom, nobody can make you do anything. You
I
should have
mean-
just left. Like
We can, Ebony. We can.
Dumbass is here right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I just don't want to. I was like, "Yeah, we'll watch season 2 and do the show." And I was like, "Why did I commit to that?"
We saw Joe's kid's second birthday was on Saturday, so we all said it briefly, and I was like, "Tommy coming for Tuesday?" I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Holy shit! All right."
Wasn't expecting that.
That was a legitimate. Wasn't certain if that was going to fucking happen because I know
It's okay. We have guests here to fill Tom's void. You know,
I'll fill
I'm not
Tom's
filling
void.
anybody's. I am not filling anybody's.
My volunteers
void.
should be.
Everybody went sexual with that immediately.
It
Just
wasn't
right.
that sexual.
I know what show I'm on. Like I can adjust to the audience.
yeah. Ebony
I know
knows.
where I am.
Ebony
I know
knows.
where I am.
the only thing I can't adjust to is other shows. Also, my own.
So I feel like, Jono, you just don't adjust. Like you're just who you are, which is admirable. You are just who you are, no matter the situation, no matter how inappropriate, no matter how uncomfortable you make people.
Yeah.
You are just you.
So I appreciate that. The judge disagrees, but that's all right.
The judge would like him to be anyone
oh.
but him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable to be on the Jono side of things and watch him make other people uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of sit
It's
back
fun.
and
It's fun.
relax.
Every time there's guests, me and Tom just get to sit back and watch Jono say weird things, and it's not about us.
Yeah. But,
Good luck with that.
yeah.
I'll yes and everything he says.
Yeah. Tom and I have zero rapport. I have no idea how he's going to ever react, and obviously, I've never met Ebony once. So, gonna be an awkward show of first timers.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no
on
first
that
timers
note,
here.
this is our episode covering season 2, a review.
Season 2 review.
Look at that.
A season
graphic.
2 review.
Yeah.
Sounded better when you said it.
So,
All the
full
videos.
spoilers for the books and shows.
Book.
Just we're just full spoilers, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
You say
how
anything
are
you want.
not giving- I was gonna say, how are you not giving spoilers when y'all just let Jono say whatever he wants? Like,
Oh,
absolutely.
no, it's full spoilers, guys. I mean, anybody watching this show pretty much knows that, but I mean, you never know. You have to assume that
Yeah.
there's somebody.
Yeah.
We
It
should
could be
start
new
this-
audience, right? I
Re-
mean,
Yes,
know?
I mean somebody could have gotten lost on the internet and ended up here.
Yeah,
and,
and yeah, I got lost for sure. Yeah.
Happy Tuesday,
would-
dumbass.
Don't you wish that person would leave a comment? It
Yes.
has to happen. They never do.
We've been pretty careful for like half the season, making sure the spoiler warning is up there.
4 episodes. You've
Mhm.
done-
Well, usually we spit out a massive spoiler, and then we're like, "Oh, we should put up."
And they're like also spoilers. Yeah. That's usually when we remember. It's when we say something.
spoiler reminds us.
Very circular logic.
Rand loses a foot. Spoiler.
Is there a non-awkward show for first time? No. There's not a single episode of our show, I think, that fits that category.
Unless we're talking about another show, non-us. Which, how the fuck would we know?
We're all giant fucking nerds, so I'm sure everyone is going to be awkward.
Speak for yourself, Tom.
Says the guy with
Only-
toys on the shelf behind him.
I've only just read these books a couple dozen times. I don't know if that
Oh,
makes me a
really?
giant nerd.
I am very, very cool.
Don't you have several gargoyles toys on the shelves behind you?
Oh God, yeah, plenty. Yes. Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
So real quick,
I mean, Batman's a great there.
we
It's
should
that
take
anti-bullying space.
I mean, I'm also sitting in front of a shelf full of toys, so we're good.
I've got plenty of toys over here.
Can't bully yourself either. Not on this show.
And my own paintings of the Wheel of Time, which
And
does
one of
that
yours,
make me
you
nerdy?
can't-
Yes, it does.
Yours
We
is right there.
We
There's
did
one.
literally did a
Wolverine,
24-hour.
Wolverine.
We did a 24-hour anti-bullying charity event.
it.
It's just, come on here, start bullying.
Y'all should have just donated money. Y'all should have just donated your money.
Yeah, just donate
Not
the
the
money
bullies.
and call it a night.
We did. We raised
Not-
money. Yeah.
Y'all
That
bully
was-
each other all the time.
Well,
Not
that's
one
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, like that doesn't
Y'all
count.
bully Jono. Yeah. Jono counts.
That's
So
a charity event.
Probably
Tom.
all the way up to 5. So
Yeah.
Tom, if you could, if you had to pick one thing that you to say something positive about the show, could you do that? Could you say one? Could you pick one thing out of the entire show and say one positive thing about it?
and don't say that it's over.
Yeah. No, I mean like an actual piece of the show.
You don't get to guess my answers and then go against.
Yes.
The answer is he got to get drunk with us on the show. And that's all Tommy Bear wants because he's a big family man and friend guy.
Yeah,
Aw.
good. Yeah, I think the actors do a good job
There you go.
with
Yeah.
the bullshit they're given.
There you
enough.
go.
I mean, that's how a lot of people felt about the Star Wars prequels. Like it wasn't Natalie Portman's fault that she got the dialogue that
Natalie
she got.
Portman is also, yeah.
all the Natalie.
He's a good guy. That guy. His name's
Yeah, he
Cliff.
carries a lot of luggage, but he's all right. He's good. He's good at it.
I don't even think.
He can
all right.
get almost anything into an overhead bin.
I mean, I've said it before. Like the actors do a good job. I think the writing is good for again what they're given, the direction that they have to go with it. But I think the direction
You
they
just
go
don't like the
with it is-
direction.
Yeah, I think
You
it's a
don't-
garbage fire.
Okay. Yeah, I
They-
heard that time.
I did.
On that note, let's take a quick moment to say happy birthday to Robert Jordan, who is dead,
That's
but
right.
also born again.
See,
Would have been,
Jono.
Jono,
yeah.
way to go.
yeah. So, thank you. I'm glad you got that cute.
It's wildly relevant.
Wildly.
He would like it.
And you know, on that note, his favorite part of it, which he told us because he doesn't exist anymore, was that the twat was red. So that's kind of, you know, again, very thematic for him.
Yeah, it's very possible. Very.
You went to the
very
John Edwards
poignant.
show and asked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did you
It's
call
so
Miss
fucked up.
Cleo?
Why hasn't someone done that yet? All right.
Wait
We
a
got
minute.
lot to talk about, guys.
Wait. Trademark that idea. Copyright that idea. We're doing that.
We're going to John Edwards.
Trademark.
I mean, we'll go a little lower down the list.
Okay.
But we're definitely calling
Well,
it the kick for one.
So we're gonna cover season 2 in 2 parts. We're gonna do this next week also. So we're gonna cover people that we didn't get to tonight. But the way we like to do it is focus in on like a random character and talk about their whole arc for the season and kind of like discuss them as a whole rather than just rehash the season over and over again. So like we can jump around to different people or kind of hone in on a certain, arc if you'd like. But before we get into that, I want you guys to tell us what your Billy Zane ratings are for the whole season before we get started.
Honestly, personally, for me, each episode increasingly gained Billy Zane's as the episodes went on.
All right. Okay.
I think I started at like a 5 or a 6, and then I ended up at like a 12.
Oh, it's the Tom.
Billy Zane's ratings only go to 10. Tom.
You're supposed to be sideways to where...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the fireball around the 10, but that's about as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets.
All right. Move your head correctly.
I'm going to go with an 8 because there's always room for improvement. Like I was very happy with it. I feel like they did better than season 1. Like it was an improvement. I really will never see the last episode of season 1. I was very conflicted because I was like, what is happening? Why does the blight look like this? I don't understand why. I was very confused. So this was much better. I do wish I had my Barney back, but I don't.
Yeah.
The Matt we have is fine. He's fine. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to get Semiraj, and I don't like that. So.
Okay.
I was a little sad that they cut Ingtar's storyline, but Rafe did say that they were gonna.
It's a deleted scene. That's what Shar said last night. They do talk about Ingtar and him being a dark friend and everything in a deleted scene that they'll release later.
Oh, the two things that you guys just said that were like that kind of bothered me. Put me at like an 87 on a scale of 1 to 10 of rage. So we're on the same page and just having different reactions.
Yeah. So maybe you're taking this too seriously, Tom.
I'm not taking it too seriously. This is episode 170 billion of this show. I obviously care a lot.
It's okay. I went to anger management as a kid, so I worked all that out.
It's 374 episodes of Tom caring about the Wheel of Time. Of course he cares a lot.
Yes, but you got to put things in perspective. Like,
to be honest,
I can just dislike it and move on with my life, except I'm stuck not moving on with my life because of this.
I was about to say.
Without sounding like a dickhead piling on, which is my fetish, like the fact that they're going to release a deleted scene that's kind of key for like a character, I think is emblematic of the issue.
Before we get into details, Jono, what's your rating for the season as a whole?
5.5 to 6.
Okay, all right, okay. Tom, I assume yours is negative, a horrible number.
Yeah, Tom does not do that. He's not.
Negative 11 billion.
Oh. All right, negative 11 billion, and I'm gonna go with. I think I'm at a 7. I think I'm at a 7 for the season.
I just wanted to be next to my.
There was some weak. Yeah, well, I mean,
So let's so I think we should do this in two ways, right? One is kind of overall thoughts, and then follow a character. Like overall thoughts.
That is exactly what Joe said.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what we're doing.
Hold on, Ebony. Why the fuck would I listen?
Hey, Joe,
it's a better idea when Jono says it.
Joe, will you
never in the history of ever.
Yourself to the center? Because it seems like Jono's the center of the show, and it's not working for me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, now we match the logo. Good job.
Overall thoughts. That's true. Yeah.
That's
overall thoughts. Because to me, like there are some things. Like there's a lot. Like Tom said, and I love that I can actually go to Tom O'Hara said a really positive thing. All the actors are actually pretty fucking good. Like I think Fares is amazing. He's not quite my Ishamael, but he fucking works, right? Lanfear, pretty damn cool. Obviously, Moraine's great. Weirdly, I'm not sold on 2 of our 3 Taviran, but whatever. Egwene fucking knocks out of the park. So there's great acting. Every time they say the dragon instead of the dragon reborn, I about just fucking lose it.
Yeah, visceral anger.
That's just
like rage boils up in me.
Why do you have to do that?
I feel like we need to talk about other things. If that is giving you visceral rage, like I feel like there's
It's such a simple thing. It's such a simple thing to get right. Just say his fucking title right. It's so easy. It's so fucking easy. Like, I don't understand.
It's so easy. But what I wanted to know was, after I got my own rant in, tell us the things you really enjoyed.
Let's see. I enjoyed Egwene.
Yes.
Like she has done great. Like after the one scene, I was like, yeah, so she wins. She wins all of Wheel of Time, because anybody who said she wasn't Egwene just based on looks, you can't tell me that that's not Egwene at this point. Well, you know, there are people
that's some pre-season one naysayers, Jono.
Yeah. That they assumed everybody in the book was white.
Yeah. No, I meant to say that. I was very offended. I'm surprised that you actually came here not white too. I thought you were going to whitewash.
So here's the thing. I enjoy being melanin blessed. I mean, I pushed it by marrying somebody with no melanin.
Yeah.
You look like a fluorescent light bulb, Jono.
Skin cancer twice. I wish to God I were melanin blessed.
Instead, you're a soulless ginger.
Yeah. It's not gonna. Don't worry, my people will be gone soon enough. But anyway, back to the actual country. There's no hope for us.
I liked Egwene. Now see, I gotta say this. So, like I said, episode 8, season 1. I'm like, I don't know how we're getting where we're going. I don't understand what's gonna happen from here. So I like that they tied up a lot of that. Like after season 2, I can look back and go, okay, I now understand what you were doing, but like give a sister a warning. Like don't just out of the blue. So I liked that it wasn't, at least it seems like there was a basis for a lot of the changes, right? Like they did, the reason they did the things the way they did it was because this is how they're taking that storyline or that theme, right? Because we can't get a shot for shot from the book. But what you were saying, about Ingtar, John, the reality is, while we love Ingtar, I do not believe that he is key to moving the plot. He is key to showing that anybody could go to the dark side, become a dark friend for any number of reasons. But they gave us Dana in the first episode that pretty much said that, right? So I feel like the deleted scene was something that they did because they knew people were going to be upset because so many people love Ingtar, right?
Right.
But you could not have Ingtar, and it is not going to change the core.
So I want to respond, but I also don't want to dive down an Ingtar like rant. All right, Tom, what's your overall takes for the season?
I love the improvement on the one power.
100%.
Yeah, the one power overall look great. I like how they're really diving into the different Aes Sedai, like channeling differently, like based off of the way they learn and like how they do their motions and whatnot and stuff like that, and leaning into Egwene's not using any hand motions. And I mean, they're bringing that idea.
Rand too. Yeah.
They're bringing that idea in earlier than they did in the books. I mean, which obviously they have to do because they got to speed shit up.
Valda out here slicing off hands, and having seen that, she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not. Let me learn another way. Because he might take my hands." So,
do you think that was the start for that?
That was the start. That was definitely the start for Egwene. And because she was bound and she only knew how to channel with her hands. Like not because of the cutting of the hand, but because she was bound and couldn't channel because she was bound. And she was only able to produce that little puff of like flame or whatever. But the one thing I think that the thing that stood out to me the most was the postal service in the world of the Wheel of Time, and how easy it is to send letters, apparently.
we ranted about that quite a bit.
Nah, for real though. Like every time parents sent a letter, I was like, "What is going on?
Wait, who's picking these letters up?
Who's picking them up? How do they know where they're getting there?"
We just fell back on our classic. Everything's like Harry Potter, and they must have owls, and the White Tower has an owlery.
That's another thing.
They do have pigeons.
Well, but yeah, that's true, pigeons. But like Harry Potter used the freaking world's slowest birds to deliver mail. Like, it was just cool and unusual.
Tom, don't be silly. Those owls fly like 10 feet, pick up a port key, and then they're there.
They also have to deliver parcels and like packages with robes in them.
How about delivering? How about you're making animals deliver mail when you can literally instantly transport wherever you want, whenever you want?
Magical animals. I don't have time to use a port key every time.
Give a wizard a menial task job like a mailman? Are you out of your mind?
There's some kind of muggle.
They're way more important. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Nah. For the acting obviously was great. The one power fantastic. I like Perrin and the Wolves. Like I liked the combination of Perrin and the Wolfkin and the depiction of like the visions. I like that a lot.
Okay. Interesting. My overall take, I don't know when to talk about Tom's. That not you, Tom. Tom.
I
know. I definitely way better from season 1. Huge improvements all around. I mean,
just the simple production value, like just the clarity of the picture is even better. Like everything.
There was some stuff that was reminiscent from season 1 with that. Like there was a lot of dark scenes. I mean, even when it's at night, they kind of make it way darker to make it easier for them to kind of get away with it, sort of.
Yeah, Avienda, she watched Avienda fight. She wanted to hear how Avienda said her name, as if I've been telling her wrong for 11 years. How to pronounce
what if you
her
had
name.
been? What if they changed it?
Well, if they changed it, that would be another story. But I heard Robert Jordan at a book signing say it, so I knew the right way to say her name.
Oh, okay.
But she watched the fight scene and she's like, "That was cool, but it was really fast and really dark." And it was that's valid, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really fast and really dark to see.
Like Mirror Drill are horrifying, but if it wasn't so dark, I could see how scary they were. Versus like it's just blackness swirling around,
I wonder if it's because of them filming with the HDR cameras, and
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
because like I have a high resolution TV and I never noticed like it being dark.
Dark.
It was dark for me, so I don't really feel like it was too dark when I was watching it necessarily. But you come back and like for this show, for instance, I would try to take screen grabs of something, and it was just like a black screen, and not because of the classic like you take a picture of YouTube or something and it turns black, but like and I was just like, man, these are really dark frames, like that's crazy. And you can kind of see it, but like it's really dark in places. And I think it's mostly when there's Trollocs or fades around or something, like, and they're trying to like kind of hide some of these like inconsistencies and special effects kind of thing.
So I thought of something else I really liked, Joe. Nynaeve going through the ring,
the arches,
the arches. Yes, I like that better than what they gave us in the books because it was more detail. But I feel like in the book, the first one in the book, she was running from whichever one of the Forsaken like knocked her out. Like she was just naked. She was just naked running through a maze. Like that didn't really do anything. Right? Like I don't understand. Like I understand being scared, but what was happening? The second one, she did go back to the Two Rivers, but she was more mad that somebody had taken over. Whereas in the show, like you felt her pain because she couldn't stay there with Tam, right? She had to go through. So
I liked the Tam one, I think, better than just her being like, some bitch took my spot as wisdom.
Right.
That was better. I like that.
Right. All three of them were better, to be honest.
And then the last one where she goes through the arches. I don't know what Jono is doing. I'm not gonna look at him.
He's trying to get in here. I don't know.
My whole neighborhood, apparently for some fucking reason, the internet's like my neighbor just texted me saying his internet was down, and I just had to move to my phone. So anyway, I look like shit.
It's fine.
This is the view that your penis gets of you, though, so I'm excited now.
Oh my god!
You know what else my penis gets to see? My own mouth. I've been doing a lot of stretching.
Oh my god! Anyway, Right. The last one where she goes through the arch and she's actually still like has her arms like she's holding her kid.
Yeah.
That to me, I think gave more the intensity that you were supposed to feel about them going through. Like she had to give up.
I mean, yeah, that was brutal. I mean,
yeah.
Would that have mattered as much to me if I didn't have a kid yet? Probably not. But watching her hold her daughter and run through a gateway or the arch and then not have her anymore, she's just like looking at her hands. I was like, oh, my heart stopped. Yeah. All right, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that gave at least a better feel to people as how committed the woman had to be to being an Aes Sedai. You know what I mean? To not stay in there at some point.
The tests in the show were more indicative of that than the ones in the books. Like the ones in the books, like especially the first one, like you said, she wanted to get away from that. That wasn't a test to see if you would abandon whatever that test was. Like that was.
Right, so we're kind of straying into the category of talking about a specific person and or thing that happened. So why don't we just do that?
All right.
Let's talk about Nynaeve. Let's talk about Nynaeve.
Nynaeve.
I love Zoe. Zoe's so good.
She is very
she
good.
crushed. She's great. She crushed it. Did not a lot for her to do the second half of the season, but she was doing really good the first half of the season. So I was like,
an entire episode for herself.
I know. Yeah, I know. But like it was all front loaded.
Yeah, she drank that dirty water.
She drank dirty water.
Like when Alana, because she was right. Alana did not say it had to be clean. She just said you had to drink the water before you left. And Nynaeve was.
I mean, yeah. Come on, you knew that was coming right away, didn't you?
Yes, I did because I've read the book. Other watchers might not have realized that.
You remember the dirty water scene in the books?
Yeah, of course.
No, but I remember Nynaeve's attitude in the books.
They are doing a better job at giving her hard-headedness in season 2 than in season 1. She was too.
I think they did well with that.
Yeah, she was too. She acquiesced too much in season 1, where she was just.
No such thing for a woman. Let's start there. No such thing as a woman who acquiesces too much.
Wyatt said, did any of the Nynaeve stuff matter after the test? So that was kind of not my issue per se, but just it seemed like they had not like they didn't know what to do with her per se, but
they didn't.
It's just like, for instance, they used Elaine to heal at the end instead of her, which is weird.
But is that where you wanted to see her block broken, or did you want it to?
You don't have to break your block to channel when you're angry.
But she was two different things. Angry.
There you go.
But Nynaeve was not angry at that
time. She should have been angry.
But she was terrified.
She was also traumatized from having accidentally kind of
like an arrow. Yeah,
facilitating the death
hitter.
Of yeah.
But again, so that's the thing, though. If we see, I get the fact you're exactly right. She's not terrified. Like, she's terrified, therefore she's not angry, therefore she can't channel. Do you want the block to break? No, but that didn't happen. I sound like such a dude.
I feel like they should have demonstrated. Like, they mentioned the block. They don't really mention that it's based on anger. They just mention a block.
No,
they mention emotion.
Right.
Well, that's not fair to women anyway. Yeah.
Jono, I'm leaving. So we have seen her only really channel when she has been angry. Now, I will say with Lan, but you guys have to keep in mind, we had whole books where we didn't see whole characters, right? Like, we would go through an entire book and not see a character.
I would directly refute that, though. I think everything that happened to Nynaeve in the last 2 episodes are a huge setup for a story in season 3.
Clearly, that's the point.
Yeah. You've got to, obviously, with them only having 8 episodes a season, they have got to set things up. And as I have learned with season 1, you have to be patient.
I guess where they're going. My main issue with what you guys, so that's a valid response, and I hear what you're saying, but my main, I guess, not response to that would be, not caveat or issue with, but like
Rebuttal.
would just be rebuttal would just be like
rebuttal.
They seem to use the last episode to gather everyone up, and everyone seemed to have a relatively important thing to do, even if it was ridiculous, like pairing with a shield. So like Nynaeve was weirdly sidelined in that whole instance, whereas you didn't need to do it because you could have had her angrily heal Elaine's arrow and not Rand or something.
I think Ebony.
And then I can't channel. I'm not angry enough right now, or whatever the case may be. Or some. I mean, you could have done one or the other. You don't have to do both. You could have done
Ebony's
something with her.
There's a lot going on. Like what is one of the most key things in healing, right? Like when you break a bone, you need to get a crutch sometimes, right? And that's like,
or you just you touch it with the wand and the bone is gone, and then he's got a wobbly arm. What?
It's a different. So in this case, Nynaeve was the ultimate crutch. She was just there for Elaine to hold on to, and that's healing. So that's
okay, Jono. You know what? I thought you were going to say something. It was foolish. It was foolish of me.
Tom could not be happy with that.
If you take this entire podcast with just waiting for Jono to say something, you'll be blue balled. We won't get anywhere. We won't get anywhere.
I know.
Yeah. But you're in the wrong frame of mind.
Joe, I understand what you're saying because yes, Perrin jumped up just in time with the shield, and Elaine did the healing, and
they took away her freeing Egwene, or something. Like her and Elaine could have gotten there before Rand somehow and freed Egwene or helped Egwene.
But we needed to see her. I think it's important that they showed her freeing herself because they're.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
So I'm fascinated by this. Like why? Like legitimate question. Like why is that important?
Can I answer?
Yes, answer, Tom. Answer.
I specifically because it's going to lend to one of the things that she struggles with throughout the rest of the thing, which is going to be anger and brutality. Like that's going to be something that she probably struggles with now in the series going forward, is her anger and her brutality, having suffered the trauma that she suffered. And I think they're going to lean into that more than they did in the books. Like in the books, I think Robert Jordan did it well, but I think that they're going to lean into it more.
That was actually set up, and I was ready for Ebony because I was actually trying to I do see why. I still don't like it, but I do see why.
Okay.
I think Nynaeve and Elaine getting there in time to free Egwene, and then Egwene rage killing, Rhenna could still have happened, and you could still have that thing that she needs to overcome, while still giving Nynaeve the thing that she does in the books by freeing Egwene, and then being horrified that her friend has reached this level of brutality.
They still haven't taken a fucking.
No one saw it but Rand, really. I mean, and barely him. So none of her friends, none of the people that she knows and loves, truly witnessed her reach that level of brutality. Right. So it's something that she could either hide later, which is, I don't know. Maybe
I don't think she's gonna hide it. But I do like the fact that they showed us Egwene. That Egwene figured it out. That is when we get, because. That is something that I feel like is key to her character, is that she's smart. She can figure things out. So
what did she figure out?
That the Saldom could channel also, because she says
that okay, yes. I'm sorry, I thought
that she figures that out on her own.
All right, so we're clearly transitioning to an Egwene discussion.
We are.
So what do you guys? Any final thoughts on Nynaeve before we shift to Egwene?
I do. Also, I will say this: I am hoping in season 3 we do see the girls in the tower a little more.
Okay.
So we can actually see them training.
A little bit more Hogwarts.
Well, a little bit, but
a lot. We got to go back to source material.
Well, I mean, they are supposed to go back to the town, but
they said that they were jumping to book 4 though, so
that's true.
Well, I meant the source material, like Harry Potter. The series is the source material.
But I want to see. I need to
as
see
we all know, book 4.
A little bit more. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Goblet of Fire.
I don't know what.
I can't wait.
Egwene and Nynaeve joined the Tri-Wizard tournament.
The Tri-Wizard tournament would be
And
amazing.
Cedric still dies.
Yeah.
So
Oh, of course.
I want to see Nynaeve. I feel like we need to see her struggling a little bit more with trying to channel, because we haven't really seen it enough. Because she's mad that she can't do it, but is she mad that she can't do it because everybody's telling her she should be able to, or is she mad because she can't do it and she realizes how much more she would do? Like in the book, she even says she's going to learn to channel because she wants to get Moraine. Basically, she's had a lot of revenge issues. But we don't know now. Like, is she mad because now she's in the tower and the way they're treating her, and like she doesn't really seem to want to channel that much, right? Like we haven't really talked about her motivations for learning how.
I agree.
I agree. Which so there's a fascinating, like, is that a good or bad thing, right? To a certain extent, reading Nynaeve's character in the first books, again, I obviously quite like them because I read them a lot, but sometimes it's just fucking exhausting. Like she's, in book one, I won't let you get away with this, a kind of thing. And that's, ad nauseum for literally 7 books until she breaks her block, and it still goes on to a certain extent. So, like, adding, like, one of the things the series the show did do well was adding a little more of like a backstory, a rationale, that kind of thing. Some of which I don't always agree with, but they do a better job. Here, though, they've got a character that really doesn't have a rationale too much yet, other than what the fuck she saw in her, testing kind of thing. That was definitely, meaty as fuck. That sucked. But so, like, it's a weird blank canvas for a character that comes in with, in our minds, a huge, we know exactly what she wants.
I felt like that they were building already the idea of Nynaeve cleansing Sidene, because like one of the big things that was like they were really playing well, like, to people that didn't just assume she was going to pick yellow, like she may pick red. Like they were doing that well in the beginning of the season with Leandrin, until Leandrin said the only way to cure a disease is to eradicate it, is to burn it, is to kill them, and then
Nynaeve also betrayed her.
And then Nynaeve was like, nah, you could cure diseases, and like the men channeling isn't a disease. So I thought that they were building that with her, and then the wounds that never heals, not being able to heal Elaine, like they're really leaning into the healing thing, especially even with
on the healing Rand thing. I'm not necessarily angry that she didn't heal Rand, because she doesn't do that in the books either, but but it's like, I don't know.
We've never seen her heal, other than with.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if Nynaeve had done it and it hadn't healed all the way, you'd be like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck?"
So if Elaine having done it, having done it right or whatever, or now it's half healed or whatever, that's almost better in a way, But
and
like
Elaine,
not giving her like a little bit of time to shine, I guess, in the end episodes of the show, and they were building it up for like episodes on end, like them getting the collar, like them trapping a Suldam, like all this stuff. And to have it kind of like just like whimper out seemed kind of weak to me. I'm not sure what you could have done better. There's many different ways you could have gone, but I feel like the way it played out was like, oh, okay, well, all right, Nynaeve's there, I guess, and that's kind of how that was it. You just kind of like, oh, well, she's here,
Well, maybe the whole point of that was the naked rationale that she felt the shock of the death, and then that's why she wasn't able to do anything, because she was dealing with that trauma.
I'm sorry. I saw Wyatt, man. Cho Chang really.
Do I have a Shinarian top knot? Is that what's going on?
Cho Chang really is a random brown notch.
Oh, Cho Chang? Yeah, she's here.
I forgot that was her.
I was actually delighted, because again, it's nice that they go back to the source material to see Cho Chang there.
Let's discuss Cho Chang. No, let's talk.
Now, at one point, Joe actually did have a top knot while I played soccer with him.
That's
that
true.
could
I
have
did,
been.
at one point,
yeah. So there is that.
I was like checking in with the comments to make sure I wasn't missing something about Egwene, and it's just a bunch of Neville is Moradin, and it's just a bunch of...
Wait, I'm going to the comments. I'll see you guys later.
Some random brown eye. Yeah.
So you know what that means. You guys need to do an episode doing a 1-for-1 matching up.
I think that they cut. Oh yeah, that'd be a good episode. I think that they cut out some of the Nynaeve scenes similarly to the way they did Inktar's. Okay, I mean, yeah.
Well, in book 4, we know that Rand is the dragon they fight in the first round of the Triwizard Tournament.
I mean, yeah, clearly.
Which one? Is that going to be Harry's
We were
challenge?
kind of talking about her, so let's talk some more. Like, wait.
I thought the actress herself, fucking amazing. Again, of all the scenes, like she got some depraved shit thrown her way. She did a great job. And also satisfied a lot of weird fetishes for those who like to have a woman with like a.
That's enough.
Yeah. It's not for me.
No king shame.
She has yet to disappoint.
I said that's not for me. I mean
that's fine. That's fair.
But so that's something for probably a lot of viewers. Disturbingly high amount of viewers, which is fine. Again, she was fucking amazing though. Like great actress.
Her not the one where she's technically captured, but which is called Damane weirdly, but the one that's after that, episode 6, is like my favorite episode of the season by far.
Jono, there's a tremendous amount of kink fantasy books out there that that's probably going to draw in a huge audience.
Oh, I know. I know.
I love how
disturbingly high amount of people.
They really shit. What was her name? Oh,
Renna.
No, the director / writer / producer.
Oh, that I don't know.
Her name is Sanaa Hamri. She wanted to dial up the horror this season, and I know they did for Tom all season, but they on
the day you win. All right, that's tWoTcast. Yeah,
I liked how they did how Egwene how Madeline like depicted when they were exerting control through the Adam, like where she would like contort herself.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was creepy and like
her running for the bracelet on the wall and her arm like twists up behind her. I was like, like as if her hand went backwards like away, and I was just like, that was great. I mean, again, that whole episode was just like horrible to watch.
Yeah,
and I know people like to there was a lot of people like, oh, that was one paragraph in the books. Like, why are we having a whole episode of this? Because it was amazing. That's why.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like that's book 2 for me is a huge piece of that is what Egwene goes through and Egwene breaking out of that and getting, and rage killing a bunch of Shan-Chan. I love that in book 2, but I didn't quite get that. You get her killing Renna, but the her being captured part and how brutal that is and what that sets up for her character later, I think they crushed. Yeah. I thought they did a great job.
Tom actually had a thought. It sounded like briefly.
No.
Oh, I
didn't think so.
I threw the ball for the dog.
This is a jingling dog collar and some crickets.
Well, because he was getting in character with what to do with a Damane. So he's got the collar going on. It makes sense. Appreciate your...
Even before she's actually freed and she just turns around and says no to Renna, that's so good.
Though on the other side of that, the thing that kind of bugged me was the inconsistency with the control with the.
That's exactly where I thought you were going to. Yes,
there's a lot of looseness with the rules in terms of channeling, in terms of a lot of what we're seeing. So it's not just the. I mean, the dagger. Like, we can get that on that topic.
Well, I can't.
Yeah, the inconsistencies with channeling and since we're talking about Egwene specifically, the collar and what that means to be collared and they just don't do a good job of illustrating the specific rules, so you don't know when the rules are being broken.
Yeah.
So therefore, I
was very confused.
Unless you're a book reader, and then you're like, "Well, I know what's going on," and then you're like, "Well, that doesn't match up with this and this and that." So like,
specifically when she was double collared and
double collared was really like, what was happening there?
I just wanted to say double collared. I wanted to see Jono's face.
There are a lot of like fantasy shows and movies where they like strictly adhere to a magic system, like the way they do in books, though.
No.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Oh well, so that's I'm okay with a little looseness, but like if you make rules,
I don't like when they break their own rules. Is the thing. Like,
Well,
if you
yeah, I
make
was
a
gonna
rule,
say,
don't break your own
yeah.
rule.
But did they establish them clearly?
Well, yeah, that was the thing. I
guess-
think the issue is they're not
I don't know.
established.
You,
Like
you
it's
leave
almost
it.
like
You
they're
leave it vague,
dependent-
so you can do whatever you want.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, it's not
Right.
as vague.
Great writing.
It's not as loose as the Lord of the Rings magic, but it's still too loose for the Wheel of Time for me. Like with
But is it too loose for you because you know the magic system? Like, do you think people who have only watched the show notice?
No, well, yes,
Probably not.
No, though, but like
not
forget
an
about the books. Forget about the books
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Rena had a collar on, and Egwene had a collar on. Why
It seems like
couldn't
it should've canceled
Rena
out.
control? Yeah, but then why could Egwene control her? Like, I still don't get it.
The only thing, like the only explanation I can think of is the fact that Egwene was stronger.
I don't like that.
Maybe the collars are some sort of pyramid system where they go down channel, and
I
someone
mean,
puts the collar on somebody, they're in control. Like if Rena would have put a collar on somebody else, she would have been in control of that person.
Oh, I see.
Maybe
Plus
it's
the
just
nesting
maybe
collars.
it's just maybe it just cancels each other out.
see, I feel like it should have
They just cancels
and they
each other
both-
out.
Yeah, they just cancel each other out. You know.
and then they should have both been able to walk away eventually.
Well,
So-
maybe
I think
Rena
there's a-
died because she couldn't afford the 3 timeshares that Egwene made her both.
So
And that's a huge
Egwene gets the
fucking issue.
collar on Rena and then channels to put her up on the hook. So I
Yeah.
already I'm like, wait, how can she channel?
How
Or
can
is she
she
channeling through Rena?
Yeah.
Is that what's
They're
happening?
supposed to assume. But
So
but
that's
it doesn't
because
make sense.
would that be
because
not the?
Rena's that strong?
Shouldn't it be the opposite though? Right, to a certain extent, Rena is actually using Egwene's strength, which is way higher. She has control over Egwene's strength, whereas Egwene has control over Rena's strength, which isn't shit. It technically should have been the
Unless-
opposite.
Then goes
But-
Maybe
Unless-
Rena was in shock and she had still given the command to channel to Egwene so she could
Well-
still channel.
So if Rena's using Egwene's power, if Egwene putting the collar on Rena essentially give her power back.
Listen, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. So
We're not
real
gonna make
quick,
it
I agree.
let's finish
I
this.
agree.
The real issue is the fact that we're having a conversation about it is
It has-
probably tantamount to not the best usage of it.
All right, Tom was actually going to say something. What, Tom, what were you going to say?
You probably get into a willpower situation at that point if it's collar.
Yeah.
collar.
And to Ebony's point, I think that's what's happened. I think Egwene's ability to be like, oh, I already went through getting strangled, and all of the other torture that you've put me through, I can take this for 5 minutes
Yeah.
while you're about to die, you know. And I think that's what they were trying to show. But I mean, again, the double collar, double bracelet thing, like it makes no sense.
The double collar thing, like it would to me, it would have made more sense that when the collar went on Rena, that her bracelet fell off. Like I don't see how you can wear a collar and then have a bracelet on against another
yeah.
collar. Like
Egwene's already freed at that point. Yeah.
Look,
Right,
Or,
like-
or wouldn't it have been weird if like Nynaeve and Elaine had gotten up there and just freed Egwene? Wouldn't that have been weird? And then we would have had this
Totally
conversation. That would have been weird and crazy.
let's just all agree the writers are careless and they don't care about any of it, and it's just whatever suits their needs at the moment.
So the point here is two collars is too much. The friction there actually is bad, and something's going to get out. And that's why you wear one condom. That's it.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
If I brought another dog here and then attached that dog to my dog with a leash, the stronger dog would win. I think that's probably how it worked.
That's the best example. That
is. See, Tom, you have stuff to contribute. You're doing fine.
Distinctly hazardous, but go for it.
If we're actually just zeroing in on things that happen on the show, and I don't have to speak about it as a whole, like I can actually talk about it a little more.
Good Tommy Bear. Joe's just scrolling through the comments while drinking, so yeah.
Double color is the Sean Chan 69.
Perfect.
I'm in for this show.
Perfect.
Nope, that's the best comment of the night.
Can I make a suggestion for our next character?
How about it? Oh, sure.
Lanfear.
Okay, but let's fair. But let's wrap up Egwene. What did you guys think about her?
First off,
I don't
you
know.
Fucking wrap up Egwene. She wraps you up.
All right, shit, you're right. You're not wrong with that. I'm gonna get my ass collar, double collar.
With your own wrapping.
What? I have one question. So, what do you guys think about the last scene with like Ishamael just like shooting little sparklers at her and her with the shield for like 5 minutes?
So this is how I am rationalizing it. So we had Moraine down on the beach going full on Matrix with the but that was happening at the same time the shield was being held. So I don't think it's as long as we think it is that she's holding it. But also,
oh no, I agree with that. I think they're cutting back and forth. I know she's not standing there for 20 minutes holding a shield against Ishamael. I know that.
No. But I also, after thinking about it, I think he had already decided, Ishamael, because I don't want the actor to go away. I think he'd already decided he was going to have to fake his death. And so he wasn't going at Egwene full strength either. Like it was enough to kind of break her down a little bit. But in theory, he should have been able just to flame all of them like that, and that was that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like he was more putting on a show because he'd already knew that Lanfear had been Lanfear, and he had already let all the other Forsaken.
Yeah, he'd already dusted his hands of the other Forsaken. Right. Okay, all right, okay.
I think he was like,
Literally.
Yes, he was like, I need to go back and regroup. If he thinks I'm dead, that's going to take a little bit of the pressure. He's not going to come looking for me. Essentially what Rand did. He's like, I need a new plan now because Lanfeared, and I've let these other fools out. I got to figure out what I'm going to do now.
Okay, so you think when he's like sitting there channeling and shooting little fireballs at her, he's just like, I'm just going to make it seem like I'm a threat for a minute. I mean, he does literally just stand there as Rand walks up to him later.
Right.
Yeah, don't even,
what is that to happen?
As I have observed, like from many people that like the show, a lot of mental gymnastics to excuse a lot of bullshit.
So here's the thing. I'm also married to a white man. That is my life. A lot of mental gymnastics.
Actual gymnastics.
Yeah.
So that is just, it's been 30 years now. That's what I've been doing. Trying to explain away things that make no sense.
The top comment of the day.
I didn't realize, like the Forsaken are immortal unless you stab them with a hot sword. Apparently.
Yeah, of course, everyone knows that.
Have you not read the care instructions?
No, Fane specifically said that the Dark Lord had only given Lanfear that power to come back.
It says here, do not stab with dark sword, tumble dry only.
I was going to say that would have been a great transition.
when they're standing there, when they're standing there and they're talking about, what'd you say, Tom? Say it again.
I missed
that.
That
would have been a great transition from Egwene to Lanfear. Your stabby sword comment.
Christian says Ishamael was going full strength. I rewatched some of that scene and his face was confused and he was struggling.
So there is a modicum of
he was acting. Christian.
The actor?
He is an actor.
So there is technically, and I think I brought it up last time. If you remember, like one of the things that happens, like at the Eye of the World, which is with Agenor and Moraine, is Agenor's briefly, and I'm pretty sure it's Agenor. I think I had the same fucking issue. Either way, is briefly really fucking annoyed that Moraine can hold him for even like a quarter of a second because he thinks that she's just a dumb bitch. So
I don't know that he would have put it that way, but
it's not Jono, that's Agenor.
He would have put it much worse.
As my character. I think that there is this modicum of precedent for it, considering that, well, yes, Ishamael is stronger than Agenor, Egwene is also stronger than Moraine. That being said, it still doesn't make sense for whether we call it a 1 minute siege versus 20 for any of that to work, because that's a little too long. But
so he had to have been phoning it in, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that at least from a writer perspective, you can grab something and say, well, this happened.
I mean, here's my excuse for it, and I hate the show, so I don't even want to give it.
I love this.
Go on.
I mean, Egwene is a novice of the tower, and maybe eventually accepted. But they get to this point, and when they make her, find the stuff in the ground and use all of her power, she levels up somewhat. We can just assume she's leveled up.
It's called forcing, ironically.
Much more at this point in the show than she is in the books. But so she's maybe approaching more of a full strength now than we think she should be. And in full strength, Egwene could hold up against him for a little while.
Yeah. Right. But I will say it's not like she wasn't struggling though, right? yeah. He was basically the bad guy in Scooby-Doo.
We're ready.
Yeah. But it's not like Egwene. It's not like Egwene was just standing there holding the shield, like giving Major side eye. Like she was struggling.
Oh yeah, and failing. Yeah.
By the way, I hated that scene. Don't make me defend this show again.
I love how we're flipping. We're flipping it. Ebony and I are complaining, and Tom is defending. I love it.
Look, seriously, defense typically requires less effort. I mean, that is true. I mean, it's not. It's a lot easier just to like throw up a shield and sit there and hold it than.
Well, they took several years of defense against the dark arts.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe what we should really be complaining more about Ishamael is just like, well, my number one assault is tiny knives.
They weren't. Keep making fun of Tom, but they're not small. Like they start like little sparklers, but then they hit like big fireballs. So, I mean, in the defense of the show, they aren't actually little things hitting the shield. They're like giant bursts of flame. But
do more, be smarter. You're an ancient.
It's just funny because from his perspective, it starts off so it's little, and then it like bursts into flame. But like it's just this little like
do any of it, anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But that is the reason why I feel like maybe he wanted it. It didn't end the way he thought it was going to, but his end goal was to get stabbed by Rand. Just all these other people.
He's a handsome dude.
Well, maybe some of those teddy bear Trollocs will take him back and
wolf dog
help him, and everything will be okay.
It was implied. All right. Okay.
All right. Do we want to go to well, real quick, the term, as Ebony and I may have traded a couple DMs, if you know what I mean, about the fact that ta'veren doesn't exist as a term necessarily.
They haven't mentioned it yet.
But do we want to get to one of the presumed ta'veren 3 or 5 or 6, depending on your definition right now?
Well, we can't do that because we're going to talk about Lanfear.
No, we should. No.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, you're right. I apologize.
I'm good with going to the ta'veren.
Guess what? I'm on my doesn't matter. I've switched to a different liquor and all of that. So let's go to Lanfear.
Well, all right. Well, hold on. Who do we want to talk about? Because we don't care about what Tom thinks. I mean,
about whom do we want to speak? Let's use our grammar correctly. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm good with the ta'veren. Because
I
would like to talk about because the
well, we're gonna save Rand for next week. So sorry, guys, but or come back. But let's talk about Perrin or Matt. Which one do you guys want to talk about?
Matt.
Ebony. Was one vote for Matt? Okay.
Matt is my favorite.
Jono.
So.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Matt's fine with me.
All right, Matt, it is. Let's talk about Matt from Cauthon.
So let's talk about Matt's annoying beginning and decent ending, which, by the way, is also probably not too dissimilar from my sexual escapades for my wife. Really misunderstood a few terms, but that's okay. So Matt in a it's Matt in a jail cell.
Enough for that, Iris Bear. All
That's
right,
the
I'll
after
do a
show.
poll.
That's the after show.
Matt in a jail cell. What'd you think?
Okay, yeah, let's start early.
I mean, it was the best that they could do with Barney having fucking never came back.
So I guess holy shit, giant disclaimer for everything is one day I would love to know what the original season 1 arc was supposed to be with all these things. Because I one of the things that we've done many times besides yelling drunkenly at each other is it's hard to handicap what the fuck happened at the end. On the other hand, and so did they pivot well? Did they pivot poorly? Was it weirdly? Well, actually, we always intended to have an actor walk off after 6 or 7 episodes. Bizarre plan. You never know. So what the fuck happened there might be one of the biggest things that reflects our issues with A, season 1, and B, season 2. On the other hand, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
My wife married me too fucking bad. So, here we are.
Until death do you part.
Yeah. And by the way, I do my part.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
All right, we're shifting topics. We're talking about.
Great segue, Joe. No one
He was
gets
just
that
saying goodnight.
All right. Sorry. We're back. We're back on that. We're back on that.
Yeah.
Back on.
Back on that.
So anyway,
Ebony would like to be on.
so what do you guys think
I
about
really
the
would.
actual the jail cell shit?
I was okay with it.
Yeah.
I was confused with the Min stuff, but I liked where they ended up with it
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
Yeah. I was. It was fine. Like, I don't feel. I don't feel one way or like. I don't think it was awful. Could it have been done differently or better? It was one of those things.
Let me
was just like,
paraphrase
okay.
you guys.
Yes.
And I'll let Joe talk more because Joe's yelling at himself silently. But I'll paraphrase you guys. You didn't like it enough to be happy, but it was something that got you from A to B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it wasn't great writing. Joe, your thoughts?
Well, just the jail cell scenes?
Yeah, jail cell stuff. Like just the idea of like
I agree with
Matt's
Tom.
been in
I think
jail for 6 months. Don't ask how he's in shape. Just, go for it.
What? That's all you do in jail. He flipped his bed up every day and was doing pull-ups. Come on.
There you go.
Also, do you know how heavy those stones are? Moving that stone out of the wall, putting the wall back in place every day, just so we can hang out with Midnight and get drunk. Yeah,
From scraping.
Yeah,
So dumb.
That's intense. No, I agree with Tom. I think getting Matt back involved required some stupidity in there, and and I was like, all right, this is fun. This is fun seeing Matt in jail. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It was kind of Matt book 3 Matt, like in the tower, like kind of trapped but not trapped. It was sort of that in a way. I don't so we got a little bit of book 3 Matt in that little tidbits of that. But
I will say maybe it was a good way to kind of get us used to the new actor. Like for him a chance for him to just kind of try out his Mattness.
Yeah, and just be on screen with like one other person and kind of
and just kind
there.
of see his interaction, just see if he's going to be as sassy as Matt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just see to get us used
which is
to that
interesting
idea.
because the scenes where I think he really shone as Matt, and just he looked like he fit since the beginning was when he reunited with Perrin and reunited with Rand, and he ran up and hugged them. I was like, they look like they've known each other for years. They're obviously they're all acting well, but he genuinely looked like he was just ecstatic to be back with them and stuff. And he had never been with them before, technically. So it was I was like, wow, he did a really good job of selling that camaraderie that technically didn't exist because he's a new actor.
That
It was
that
600
on-screen
homes.
chemistry was so good.
Yeah.
I'll say this. One of the things that my wife, for now, did mention was
Your
also
first wife.
Mhm.
So my ex-fiance, same fucking bitch. God damn it. It's one of the things she mentioned is that she was actually very happy to see that in the lead up, as the to the show, every scene, every time there was going to be a Matt scene that they want to give a recap, they were not shy in showing Barney. That's something, they weren't running away from the fact that there were two different actors.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's something we just don't talk about that kind of thing. And in this case, that wasn't the issue. And I think that that's actually a phallic point. That was there. So good for both of them.
I still
Okay.
wish at some point they were something seems different about you. I
Yeah.
just would have enjoyed
Yeah.
An Iron Man 2
Personally.
scene
Yeah.
with Rhodey.
Have you lost weight? No, it's
Did
still me.
you ever watch 21 Jump Street? Am I the only one that ever did?
I watched it because Johnny Depp.
I mean, we're all old, Tom.
But do you remember when Johnny Depp left the show and they replaced him with a different actor?
That was
And
not as cute.
that was before you had obviously the internet or any news whatsoever. I didn't even know he wasn't going to be on the show that year. And the intro starts and the music starts and they play the whole intro and it's every single scene from the intro from the previous season, except it's a different actor instead of Johnny Depp. Like they reshot all the scenes.
I forgot about that.
So weird. Hey, let's go back to actually Tom's age. If you guys remember when they filmed On Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1967.
Yeah.
When James Bond looked at the camera and says, "Wouldn't have happened to the other guy," in a giant regard to Sean Connery, right? That was you, Tom? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about when you guys were talking. The flashback.
Christian said there are people who can teleport. That's how they got Matt to foam. They didn't have to waste time with all the Min stuff.
Are there people who can teleport?
They're called Forsaken, and we assume so. We've never seen it.
No, we did see it.
We definitely see, but / not really see it yet.
We saw a bunch of bats for Mash and Shin, and all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah, and then they're gone. Yeah.
Mogideon.
Yeah.
But did we?
Oh yeah.
Like, did she step into Did she like open a doorway and step?
No, it's like it looked like it just folded around. Like it was like she was gone.
It looks like she bamfed from fucking.
It's almost like it's almost like she nightcrawled her way out of there or evaporated.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't teleport; they separate.
But so what if the Dark One is just handed out different powers? Like Lanfear.
Like the Forsaken or the characters from Captain Planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like only Lanfear gets to be immortal. Like only Mogideon can Nightcrawler out of like
travel
just to make them fight even more. Like I feel like that would be a good Dark One thing to do. It's like I know you all have the ability, but I'm gonna cut it off on.
I mean, his whole plan only has 3 prongs.
Has completely off topic, but have you seen the Don Cheadle Captain Planet?
Yes. It's so good.
So hilarious. If anyone in chat hasn't seen it, go Google that.
Yeah, go watch Don Cheadle's Captain Planet.
Tom B. Simone, just so you know, you stopped Joe in one of his mid-stride in one of his favorite "can't wait to do this" things. It was something that actually made him even happier than it usually would have been.
I know how to make Joe happy.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Man,
I just know there's 2 people on this show named Tom, and both have a Captain Planet reference for some goddamn. It makes no sense.
All right, let's talk about the next topic, Captain Planet.
So Captain Planet camp.
All right, so Matt in the prison we've talked about. What about Matt with Min? Like, I felt like Matt with Min made sense until they dropped Min. Like, it felt like they were going to keep her along to get to the end. And then they just didn't, and I was like, "All right, so what was the point of dragging Min into the Met?"
The Matt and Min thing made me worry that we weren't going to get Brigitte, because basically, she was playing the role Brigitte plays.
Okay, that's interesting.
Is this his drinking buddy now? Is that how it's going to be?
Maybe.
But is that his? Okay, go on.
No, I was just going to say that was my one concern. I do like I actually like the actress for Min. I know some people don't necessarily care for her.
I love her.
Wow.
But because some people just are. Horrible.
She's great.
But I do like the
subtly
whole
referencing racism, or referencing people actually not liking the actress.
No, people just actually don't like her. Like
we're also we're talking about Matt, but we're also talking about Matt.
So here's the thing, Tom, just so you know, I never subtly refer to racism. I just say it right out there because
of course.
Y'all can see what color I am. Y'all know what color y'all are. Like, why would it be subtle?
Why would it be subtle? Why would it be subtle?
That's why I was asking.
No, but
did I get darker?
Not at all. Just inside your soul did. You don't have one. Never mind.
I was going to say,
that's very, very offensive. All right,
bravo.
So you know,
offensive to who?
Yeah,
you can't be offended.
Not anybody that has a soul.
Yeah, a very easily offended man.
You're not a man.
But seriously, there were a lot of people that just didn't care for the actress. Like it wasn't. They just didn't. And I think part of that is because we haven't got a lot of time with her.
Yeah.
I need more time with her. Like, we really liked her. I think she briefly, for some reason, she may still actually follow us on Twitter of all the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
That's because we're constantly like, we love men. She's the best. Can't wait to see you as more men.
Like, this whole podcast is a giant men fetish. And write that one down in my end.
But seriously, like, what did you? All right. So, what's your response? Well, moving on, continuing with Matt, but moving on through the men idea. Like, what was like? So, for you, Ebony, you're missing the fact that, or rather, it's replacing Brigitte for you.
No, I
perhaps?
was concerned. I was concerned because I really.
I don't think that means we're not getting that, but.
Well,
maybe it's just more of that later and with a different person.
Right.
You know,
I
like, oh, here's my new drinking
interaction.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Matt and Brigitte's interaction because they were both kind of what the other one needed, because she did have much more experience as not necessarily a leader, but like just dealing with war, where he had all the memories, but he hadn't really done it. You know what I mean? So I like that.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Playboy. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing too where Ebony's just like, that would concern me, and if I had that idea that men was replacing Brigitte, I would just smash the table into 1,000 people.
Well, see, no, because Tom, I am a Black woman. I've had to learn to control my anger so I don't fall into a stereotype category and people don't take me serious.
I'm also going to be in a stereotype category when I take a gun out and kill everybody in the production or something. Classic white guy move.
This is
That's a massive white guy move.
It is.
Sounds about white.
Oh, man.
No, they would not be looking at me for that. They would not be looking at me for that.
True story.
But I was just referring to how when things upset me, lots of times I am very like, okay, how? Because I can't cuss people out at work like I want to, even though they deserve it. Because
you should.
I can't though. You just any Black female friends you have, just ask them how many times that they have not said what they wanted to say, because once you get angry, it's disregarded. That plane is gonna crash now.
What did we find out that plane crash?
Matt was also flirting with men, which he didn't with Brigitte. They're having him prefer older women in the show. Okay.
So I love that we just jumped right over Ebony's point. Here's the deal. All right. Yeah. All right. Of all the people, soulless guy, totally unequipped to deal with anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Totally unequipped.
But for all of that, Tom's been on the list. Tom's been on
Tom,
the list.
are you kidding me?
You heard the last few reviews?
By definition, Tom works in a mailroom too, so you know.
Oh yeah, no.
One of his reviews said something along the lines of, "This is not a threat; it's going to happen."
I might need to get off this show with y'all. I don't know that I can be seen with y'all.
That was 3 weeks ago. I read that to my wife. I read the like Tom rant from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. I read it to her, and her response was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you're like, what? I'm dying laughing reading it to her, and
Like, isn't this funny? And she's concerned.
Ebony, so the Christian knows we can't respond to that. We're white.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to that. I'm like, tell me more about your struggles. I have nothing to say.
So here's the thing. This is why I don't understand why I've been with Brian as long as I have. He likes to like go back and forth with me about how he doesn't think it's like that anymore. I'm like, sir, you have not been Black.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A dare day in your life. And I don't think he can handle it. I don't think he can be handled being married to him.
I think we're all on the page of Tom's widening eyeballs of this is not somewhere we should talk.
Well, I was going to say, that man is still alive. He said that to you, and he's alive still?
I'm here for the next debate. Next week on tWoTcast, race relations.
Well,
man.
Now to be
We're
fair,
obviously going the way that we want it to. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I do like that men told Matt that he killed Rand, but that's not what happened. That's not what she saw in the vision. All she saw was him stab Rand. So I like that, and I don't even know that people noticed it, that there is the implication that she does not always know what her visions mean, because in the book, She did not always know. Sometimes she knew, sometimes she didn't. When she was sure, she was sure.
Yeah.
But there were times where it could go either way. So
But didn't it seem like she was sure in the show with that one specifically, though?
I mean, it did happen. It happened.
She said you killed him. He didn't kill Matt. He didn't kill Rand. He stabbed Rand.
Well, maybe she'd done some research to find out what the Charlotte
interpreted it wrong. But she also, I mean, wasn't. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the vision was literally Matt like jamming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was.
Well, that goes back to a fundamental question. And Ebony, I don't know if your thoughts on this, but like, do you know the difference between marmalade and jam?
I'm gonna say it's how much sugar's in it.
That's incorrect.
That is not the answer. Do
not have marmalade my dick down your throat.
No, she didn't ask for the
I can't believe you did it.
Oh God, I don't know why I fooled y'all. See,
Yay! Hey, look at that.
But the point, my point still stands.
Play it out loud.
So he can get thrown off the plane because he's associating with you, Tom. Is that what you want? An emergency landing.
He's listening to hate speech on a plane. You can't do that. Just shoot up some shit.
Oh God! Bomb. Sorry.
That's Tom. It's pronounced Tom.
So speaking of bombs, my children are always. Thank you, Noman.
Fucking Noman Garden. Always with the facts.
Yes, my kids are always talking about sending each other bombs in the mail, and I'm like, your dad works for the government. Please don't say this. Like, they're gonna come to our house.
Which government?
Okay. I honestly don't know because I do not.
One of the shadow ones.
Yeah.
I saw you penetrating Rand.
To know. Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
I took the vision, like the actual visual thing that we saw in her vision, to be when Matt ran up to Rand and pulled the thing
and pulled the dagger out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I saw, at least, or like that's how I rationalized it in my head, and that's what it looked like. So I'm not sure if that was purposeful
I'll
or
have
if
to go
it was.
Back and watch that episode again.
Yeah, I'd have to do it again. Yeah,
the illusion has been broken 8,000 times on their show. Dan dips his face in the camera like every other day. Like, don't be ridiculous.
I'm just confused how Ishamael knew about the vision.
Yeah, that was confusing to me as well, and it made me feel like it wasn't a real, like he had tricked her into seeing the vision.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
So it does seem like he broadcasted to her
on that.
But what if we have any, like, what if she's having nightmares of it recurringly? So, and now he can see it because he can walk into her dreams.
Yeah, I guess. I mean that's the rationale that we made too, but
that's a backdoor. Yeah,
it's weak,
if you will. Yeah. So again, that's the problem, though, right? Like in the actual text, maybe we'd understand a little more. Instead, it's just kind of like, hey, this is what happens. So suck one, bitch. I think that's actually kind of how the writing goes some days.
It's just because
Ebony, don't stick your head at me.
Glenn said I assumed it was all planted by Ishamael. He can easily
but it happens. Like, he's not like a fucking, he doesn't have like these visions of the future to like, here's how to set up murder kind of thing. Anyway, next scene.
Well, the way he talks to Pat and Fane later, he said, I saw how it happens. I know how he gets stabbed. As in, like, not some trick I played on Min. Like, this is the thing that I saw that happened. So that's the part where I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
I can't wait. Anyway, so what do we got next here? What happens later on in his arc besides Matt, eventually meets up with?
Well, Matt, we got to talk about blowing the Horn of Valere, I guess.
No. We have to talk about him tripping on ayahuasca first.
Oh, all right. Matt mushrooms. All right, we have mushroom tea to discuss, and we've got to talk about Matt ayahuasca. Making an Ashendari with the dagger, and then we got to talk about and then we got to talk about the Horn of Valere. We got a lot of Matt to talk about. Let's.
I enjoyed that scene a lot, like with him and like him tripping balls was.
He's a fantastic visual actor too, right? He was like, he was going nuts. Like he was amazing.
I think Donald did
a.
I'm with Ebony. I miss Barney, but like Donald did a great job. He crushed it.
He did.
He won me over.
Did a great job.
I don't miss Barney at this point. I do miss a sensical writing thing that makes sense of why he's
Barney. I miss seeing him.
Okay, fair enough. You know who else had a giant Barney crush? Maria Simmons.
She did.
I knew Maria had good taste.
Yeah. Little cigarette-y, but yeah, she tastes just fine. But
Ebony and Maria likes us.
I like you guys. Just Joe's my favorite.
Yeah,
Joe's my favorite.
What's not to like, you know?
Well, there's this guy.
Have you seen me?
Here.
I have seen you.
Look at that perfect coif right there. He's got that perfect
It
coif.
really is the hair. I'll be real honest. I do love Joe's hair.
That's it? Fascinating.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
At least they kept Barney's costume. That was the one thing that I thought was funny because I felt like he had those clothes on for the most part just so they could like reinforce that it was him the whole season.
This is Matt.
Just keep him in the same fucking clothes. They'll get it eventually. It might take up 8 episodes.
You get it? It's Matt. Because he's wearing this robe.
Cardigan. It was a cardigan. It was a long cardigan.
So, but
All
on the actual
tripping tea scene, I really liked it. I'm not sure how I feel about him like unlocking his mind in the way that he's unlocking his mind in the show, or if that's what that was. Even I don't. It's very open ended.
Yeah, I mean,
but I really liked the mirrors and like the way that it showed someone else, and then suddenly it was him, and it was like a millisecond that it was somebody else, and then it suddenly was him stabbing somebody or hanging, and I was just like, that was fucking awesome. Like there was a brief moment where it was like a guy with an Ashendari and he had a coat on like the ebook cover from book 4, you know,
5, yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, that looked like the guy walked out of that guy's art studio, like after he painted the, you know,
you remember that old joke?
The picture. Yeah. And then like a millisecond later, it was Donald with like the rags on and the Ashendari was gone. And he was just like stabbing some woman or something, you know, or whatever he was seeing in the mirrors. But like the way that it shifted so quickly was amazing. The part where he was his own mother screaming at himself was a little insane.
I love that part.
I know.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like some of the best.
Absolutely love that part.
As an actor, it was amazing. As an actor, as he was an actor, not myself. Mine are all my orgasms are real. But like he definitely like just fucking nailed this like weird, just like hey, get into it, like okay, like kind of thing. It was fucking awesome.
By the way, Joel, every week he pops on, and sometimes Tom's not even there, and he just says Tom with an exclamation point and then leaves. Just because Tom's here. He's just excited to see you, Tom.
Tom's ex-wife.
I'm about to take off.
And Tom is about to leave, which is about the time that Joel pops in. So that's why he's excited to see you, I think.
Maybe Tom is Joel Stacy.
We don't always
It's just Tom's clock. Tom.
Yeah, once Joel pops in and says Tom with an exclamation point, Tom's like, all right, it's time to go.
Time to go.
So that's essentially having somebody call you when you're on a bad date and be like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thanks for the bedtime call.
I've definitely done that before.
I've got an emergency.
We're making jokes, but I'm about to disappear.
Bye, Tom. I'm happy I got to see you.
Oh, he's not done yet. Yeah. Tom's got 8 more minutes. He's going to 15. He said.
No, he's got maybe a minute.
One more cigarette.
I just need
anyway. All right. So Matt's chapters, though. Again, I don't love the ayahuasca tea thing. It kind of distinctly infuriates me, but whatever. As far as actor go, great. And then we move on to. I'm going to roll.
All right, Pattern Fane, Ashendari, Dagger. Let's talk about it.
So
I didn't see it that way.
I feel like it was a very Matt thing to do, right? Okay. I feel like that Matt would have worked something out to figure out a way to get out of the situation, given the tools he had. He knew he couldn't touch it. So I mean, we had the whole little montage of him walking around and putting his hands through his hair and trying to figure out. So I feel like it's something Matt would do. But I still need him to get. I'm not going to say that because Jono's going to take it in a bad place. I still need him to get the actual weapon.
He will. That's not Ashendari. Like the Ashendari, I took it.
He looks so mad.
He is. I took it more as him leaning more into the spear.
The quarterstaff.
Well, no, but it was also a spear too.
It was. Yeah. But we got to see some quarterstaff work with the Heroes of the Horn.
But that's the Ashendari, right? It's a combination of quarterstaff and a spear. Like it's not quite a halberd.
I'm with Tom on this. I don't think that's the Ashendari. I think it's just him going like, "There's a blade at the end of a stick," and like eventually I'll wield something similar to this.
They always talk about how the Ashendari has a short sword blade, like a big blade, which is more of a
that
halberd,
is true.
Not a spear point. It's a large blade.
So the only thing I hope this isn't canonical.
It's more like a little short sword on the end of a spear.
It's fun adjective is canonical. But the amount of frustration that we haven't talked about this. This will be next week. Brandon Sanderson's thing on another show. How dare he not have that just live on our show, the premiere? We have a time broadcast. But he did kind of say, like, I tried to avoid this, guys. Or tried to, and I'm sure that there's more to it, right? He hasn't seen season 3, season 4, season 5, right? He hasn't seen where this goes.
Also, but they can change all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they can change it. But he did have a lot of kind of like, I didn't love this kind of thing, which, to a certain, like when I'm watching it the first time, I'm like, oh, clever. And then as I'm watching it the second time, I'm like, this better not be a fucking Ashendari. So if it's not the Ashendari,
Paige, I think it's Naganata. Isn't there more to that, or am I wrong on that?
What's a Naga?
Naganata is like a spear with a sword on the end of it, and I think that's what he's talking about. But maybe I'm incorrect.
No, that's
all right.
But Jono, Brandon may have just been not happy about them. Maybe, but them introducing a similar weapon that early. Maybe that is what he was like. I was trying to avoid this.
So one of the things he specifically said, Ebony, was, to my knowledge, this is going to be it, and I tried to fight it. So like,
okay, well,
again, him saying that and versus them actually doing it are very different things, and so like, why dive down that path? But like,
right. So it sounds like we need to have a campaign.
Yeah. Don't do that. Well, so one of the things that he brought up, which I thought was interesting, was that it wasn't just like about the fact that he turned it into the Ashendari-ish kind of thing, but like it was more about the idea, the thematic elements of what the dagger means, and having it in a sheath and on your belt doesn't matter if you're touching it or not. It's still gonna fuck you up. And him having it at the end of a stick is basically the same thing as him touching it. And yes, he didn't like physically touch it, but that's kind of like, I don't know, a weird right around the, like a circle around the rules.
Maybe it's how far away it is from your body. Like on your belt, it's still.
I mean, like, legitimate question, where's the limit, right? Like, where's the limit?
Like this?
He carries it in a fucking damn dagger. He carries it in a fucking like treasure box for a while. So does Loyal. Or like where's the fucking limit?
That's true. Yeah.
But
that
anyway,
true, yeah.
So
but Loyal's not from around here, so we don't know how it would affect
he's
him.
literally he's not from this fucking world. Spoiler, you dumbasses. Let's get to the next scene.
So
the horn looks like utter trash.
It looks. I don't know why they did this.
It's very weird.
I like most things. I'm like, well, y'all do what y'all think is best. This one, somebody should ask me because this is not what that looks like. It looks like
the design. I don't know. The design. The design was weird. It was
Joe. Shut the fuck up. Joe, shut the fuck up.
It does kind of look like a conch.
It looks like I said it on our show last week. It looks like one of those like the water things that if you like pour it, it goes glug glug because it's got like a fucking thing in there. And there actually is one in brilliant gold. Like my mom's got one in red, but I may just buy myself one in gold and just sit there and be like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, hero of the water horn.
I just did not like the design at all because yes.
Oh shit! It does kind of look like that.
But so technically,
Joe
in the books. Oh, go ahead, John. No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Joe's got work to do. He's got to find one of the guns in Fifth Element. On the other hand,
it's not happening. I mean, I will. I'll do that right now.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I actually interrupted you, Ebony. Finish.
Okay, so let me see if I can remember my thought. Oh, so the horn, according to the books, is from a time before the Age of Legends. So that would be us. We ain't got no mess like that right here.
Yeah. We have a goddamn.
It should have been a trumpet, if anything. French horn, any of those instruments.
I am pointing at nothing anyone can see, but every fucking map of the Wheel of Time.
The horn.
It has the horn, which is a pretty
string around it.
How about the chapter icons are a fucking French horn?
Yeah.
Loop, and then the bell, and it's got a little string on it.
I don't know. On one hand, I agree with everything that you guys are saying.
It doesn't have to look like that horn. Make it look like an instrument of any kind.
Yeah.
An instrument.
I don't know. The Horn of Valere, right?
Should have been the upgrade of time.
Oh my god.
It's not like there's somehow like a fucking second
What if he blew the horn and the little fairy
came
out and was like, "Hi,
hey, look here."
There's some heroes here.
And the fact that it's that I don't know if it's not virulent, but that vivid gold in such a
they
fake
definitely
looking
did some
way.
After Effects on it. Well, they did After Effects on it to make it pop 100%.
It looks like the fucking it's the goddamn worst. Like that to me.
Yeah, I did not like that at all.
You lost an entire Billy Zane, an entire fucking Billy Zane because of that.
Oh, Billy Zane.
Yeah, Glenn, but why would it look like the Sean Chan stuff? You know, like that doesn't.
But I mean, obviously they can change whatever.
Stylized for the season. Also, I thought it was weird. What about the fact that he handed it off to one of the heroes and then she just whisked it away?
That was magic. That was magic.
So that's what I'm saying. So is that now gone? So I have to find it again? What's the deal with that?
It's like the Dragon Balls.
Like a fanny pack on her back, and she just whipped it in and stuck it into the fanny pack. And when they were all done, she was like, "There
gone.
you go."
As Joe Seinfeld's this bitch. What is the deal with that?
What's the deal?
What's going on?
It's a great question though, because she literally just kind of up her ass, and there we go.
Yeah, fanny pack. She had a fanny pack.
I don't know why I just grabbed my notes.
No, but the
Matt blows the horn, and you hear left up. That's an N64 joke.
Yes, it was.
The C buttons, which is what
hey man, you had the GoldenEye facility fucking music on earlier.
Oh yeah, I mean we're big fans of GoldenEye.
Slaps only, no odd job.
Seems more like a dam music.
I thought that was facility.
No, I know. But I'm saying for this,
it's the pause. It's the watch.
Yeah.
It's the watch.
It's the watch.
Ebony's like, "What the fuck are you idiots talking about?"
No. Actually, I'm not. I've known you guys long enough. It'll come back around. Y'all will come back around. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just stare
We're back. We're back.
I don't know
We're
what
back.
you're talking about.
I loved. All right, I won't hate on it anymore. I loved the actual heroes that came out and the fighting that they did. I loved that they gave Uno a hero status. I liked that. They combined him and Gaito Kane. I thought that was cool.
He is ugly.
Yeah.
How dare you? Uno is a friend of the fucking show. We actually know him. Guy Roberts is a very well. You said yes. How dare you?
I immediately messaged him and was like, "Oh my god, I fucking love it!" And he's like, "It was so much fun."
No, it was great.
Yeah. Also, I wish Guy Roberts was allowed to actually do shows, but he's not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right, so the Horn of Valere, the blowing of the Horn of Valere, I think the only thing that I disliked about that was aside from Uno like zipping down a wall and like
I thought that
protecting
was cool.
Perrin, which was
I thought that was
awesome. I wanted a little tiny bit more of that. Like it would have been cool to see Birgit.
You do
like,
see
swap
that
off.
though.
Yeah, she's there for like a second. I'm not saying
No,
you
no,
don't
I
see
mean
her.
all of the other heroes. You see them zipping around and shit.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, yeah.
I really wanted
aerial
Birgit
shot.
like flying and like shooting a boat and it just sinking a boat with one arrow. Like
Yeah.
and like just little. Look how devastatingly powerful these guys are.
This
Let's
is
bring this back for later.
Yeah.
A little tiny bit more of like these are destructive. These aren't just a dude you're like with a sword that you're having fight you.
fucking
Like
right.
this is like a little bit more of like this is they're gonna devastate some shit if they get called by the horn, kind of thing.
But Joe, like this is the thing though, is like this is a cool scene, right? It's a fucking badass fight that
Yeah.
happens. This is the Horn of fucking Valere. The whole point here is it's there, like the lead up to it in the actual books is so fucking spine tingling and goddamn awesome. This is one of my favorite scenes. And with the way Matt goes, like, well, nothing says it can't be used early. And it drives back not 60 people in the middle of a fucking rampart on the way to a tower for no reason, but it drives back an entire fucking thing of here's the Shan-Chan, here's the White Cloaks, thousands on each side. It decides a giant fucking thing. It drives them back into the fucking ocean. Like the amount, like the epicness is not there. Like visually, maybe I'm okay with it, but the epicness of blowing the fucking horn is one of those things that stays with you because it's epic fucking fantasy.
I think that's
And,
my
like, this-
problem with the show as a whole. Is
It's
that
just
they're robbing moments from certain things to give moments to certain characters, depending
If-
on
you know
what that
If they
is
give
or
it
what
to
we're talking
someone,
about.
like,
And then,
Nynaeve had
that
picked up
robs the
fucking
weight
horn
of
and had
what-
done it.
Well, it
I
robs the
don't-
weight of what
I-
that thing means later.
I don't see how like Turok says, well, we could take over the world with this. Like, I don't see how you're taking over the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so show me a little tiny bit of that. Not the whole thing, obviously, because we want to see that later when it's actually blown at the last battle. Like, we want it to matter later. So you don't want to show us everything right now, but show me a tiny bit of what that would mean
Just
in this moment. To lend it weight for later.
Yeah. Oh, just a nice taste there. But on that note, tell me about Turok's death. I'm kidding. I don't care. We'll get to
I
that
loved
next
it.
episode.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was like hilarious, but also like I can't tell if it doesn't matter. This is on the Matt Cauthon thing.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
tell if I got blue balled or if I
That's a
enjoyed
man.
it.
That's a man.
I guess yes. Good night. But so back to Matt though is I think that what really happens to him after that, besides the Uno shield thing, which is
he stabs
frustrating.
Rand.
Oh, he does. No, he doesn't stab Rand. He does
throws
his
a spear at him.
No, he did.
throws
He
a spear.
stabbed him. She didn't kill him.
Yeah. Which
but
again,
I know.
I thought the Indiana Jones reference was fantastic.
Yeah,
I like
I was
it, yeah.
also worried about those babies walking in front of the White Cloaks because you had these kids with all the smoke things, and all of a sudden, all these horses. Like, where did those babies go?
All right, let's talk about Little Smoke Boys.
Little Smoke Boys.
Do you
I
think?
fucking hated this.
What are you laughing at? Do you not think I have Little Smoke Boys prepared?
Little
on.
Smoke Boys. Look at it.
This is just one of the reasons I love you, Joe. This is one of many.
I mean, if we want to talk about Little Smoke Boys, we can talk about Little Smoke Boys all night.
Ebony, Tom, one of you take the start, please.
On the Little Smoke Boys.
Wait.
use of-
All right, go ahead.
The White Cloaks really seem to like having small boys as their as their helpers, and it's a little
Totally normal.
Yeah.
You know why they're wearing white too, right?
Everything's fine with Little
it
Smoke
hides
Boys.
the stains.
No. What? The fuck's wrong with you, man?
A lot. We don't have time.
It shows how well you clean up from the cum.
God damn it, Jono. Fucking horrible person.
Doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, no, Tom's right. It's dyes and stain of the cum.
Yeah. Thank you.
I thought that was pretty cool though, the whole little thing that they did with that.
Little Smokey's got written down.
I just need to know that those babies are okay. Because
Listen,
it
there's
is fun
always
for
more
this.
kids. It's a fantasy
No,
world. You
they're
just go
not
round up
okay.
some more kids from a
They're
village.
not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rape in this city, so there's going to be more kids.
No, just go grab some more from some farmhouses.
Guys,
You know
comments are
those
amazing.
farmers have like 10 or 12 kids, so just go take like 5 of them and you're good.
What did I say?
Listen, all right. The question is, do you think there's only 6 little smoke boys, or is that all we saw? And there's like 50 little smoke boys.
50 or
I mean,
60.
how else could they get that much smoke out
There
there?
was a lot of smoke. There was a lot of
And if
smoke.
there's 50 smoke boys, you know, there at least half of them are gone when those horses came through.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way.
They're
No fucking
trampled
way those
over.
horses rode through that smoke without trampling at least 25 smoke boys.
My concern.
Yeah.
Did they
th-
go
this is-
back for the incense burners?
No, yeah,
hope
sure,
so.
of course. Equipment's expensive. You don't want to leave that behind.
Yeah.
Little
I'll be
smoke
honest.
boys can be replaced.
Sure.
I remember watching. There's one scene where Perrin is with Avienda and the other and Ban and Chiad, and they look over like, well, that's not supposed to be here, and it's so indistinct what the fuck they're staring at. It's just
It's
like
smoke.
What are you talking about? It's the little smoke boys, John. It's very
so
clear.
tiny. The amount of smoke on the horizon, deep purple, would not be very fucking excited about this. I get so.
Disagree with you completely. I feel like it was very clear they were talking about. I feel like the
Also, how
smoke
do they know what fucking weather patterns do in the wetlands? Like, come on.
But it was.
That's
kind of deserty.
that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point.
Unless they could smell the incense and they're like.
I mean, they were in a very arid area. Maybe they're like, well, that
Yes.
shouldn't happen here.
But that was an arid area that had some water off this way.
That's true. They had a lot of oasis
makes
going
fog.
on. You know?
Right.
You're talking
so
about-
that makes fog.
Yeah, that's another thing about Jono's wife.
Yeah.
Arid area right around a very swampy ass. On that note, can we talk about the fact, or should we stick on topic, that I hated everything to do with how arid,
No, we're not
This
talking
place
about
was
fall in general. Get out of here,
tropical it
Jono.
is 40 miles away.
I liked it.
And like to me, like
The breaking happened.
Listen, we have a poll live right now. We need
That's
to we need
how
to
that
talk about
works,
the next
though.
character.
that's it. That's it. That's the breaking happened.
No, well, no, that's how that works. Have you ever seen like rivers in Egypt and stuff like that? Like it's
Never
desert tropical.
Technically, no. But no,
That
so,
is-
like, you're not wrong, right? But then why the fuck would you have built a goddamn city where there's no rivers through Egypt?
It's where
It's on the
all
coast.
it's where all the port
the
you know,
commerce
all
from
the all
Move
the
it where
things
the
come-
water hits the. Move it where the
It's where
river.
Bell Delman does all of his business.
It's business time. All right, who was
All
the
right, I
next
put the
character?
poll. Who should we discuss next? It was Lanfear, Perrin, or Barf Mayonnaise, and everyone decidedly it was Lanfear. We should talk about Lanfear
I
next.
thought it was
Yeah,
going to be
so,
Barf Mayonnaise for sure.
as it was brought up already, so let's go to Lanfear.
right.
Which version do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about like short hair or long hair?
I would like to talk about the goth share version.
I mean, I loved Lanfear.
Me
I
too.
thought she
You
was
did a good
awesome.
job.
Well,
Yeah, I liked everything about
Did you believe like this is literally belief in life after love?
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I think we
It
should
was
just
really
end
good.
the show on that. That
Really
was
good.
perfect.
And that's all we have to say about Lanfear.
that was fantastic.
I spent a lot of time working on my share quotes, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Was she hot enough? Oh, okay.
No.
So this
Yeah,
is
the answer is no. She's not. No offense to the actress, who is a very attractive woman, but she's not.
She was hot. I think she was hot enough for the show. They don't talk about how she's the most beautiful, because that was also a lot of wish fulfillment nonsense from Robert Jordan. Like
right.
the
because
most
how would you
beautiful
gonna-
woman ever, and she's so hot, and blah 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 blah. Like who
I
cares?
think the
She's
whole
hot.
point of that is that Rand, or not even Rand, Luce Theron, turned down this amazing thing.
Right,
You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
he still did. She's fucking hot. She's easily the hottest woman in the show, like right now.
Okay.
So I will say this.
Yeah.
Being hot is not necessarily how you look, it's how you carry yourself. And
Yeah, she
very much
crushed that.
carried herself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that plays into like, no, just looking at her, maybe that's not who you imagine as Lanfear, but watching her act as Lanfear, that was Lanfear. Like there's that level of confidence.
I thought she did a fantastic job. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like bringing that level of like presence and that character requires, like, bravo, hands down crushed it.
So that is, I think, one of the examples of where you can't just go straight by the book description because.
Yeah, what are those actresses going to look like? Like we picked up some weird porn star.
Yeah, they don't exist. Yeah, exactly. They don't exist. Yeah.
Right. So I think she did a great job as Lanfear because she also did a very good job of going almost like when she was trying to appeal to Rand, almost helpless, like very doe-eyed,
just sociopath, very easy.
Crazy like that, like. Very quickly.
Her being able to play both of those sides of the spectrum of like I'm fucking insane versus like, you know, I love you, you're so sweet. Like, wow, like really good. And it was just like her eyes changed, and
she also had these veins in her fucking head that would pop out. I was like, damn.
Not so hot. I'm out. No, I'm kidding.
The episode when she popped the dude's head and was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna sew your mouth shut," and just I loved her ability to just like flick her wrist and like just murder. And I'm like, "Oh, fucking, I love it so much."
Yeah,
she was dark as fuck.
When they're about to go through the Waygate, where Swan's there and Land's there, and again, Moraine being very dramatic with everything. We've got all. And Lanfear just does this.
Women off and hard,
she's like
20.
I was
28.
that,
I timed it. 28 seconds. It took Moraine to open it. It took Lanfear less than 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second.
I think that was actually like I wish more had been called for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that to me is like a fundamental piece of what's going on here.
Right.
I don't think that. Well, it doesn't matter. That's not really a Lanfear thing. Like to me, I think that everything Lanfear does is fascinating. And I think that she can, like the fact that she can wiggle from being like, you know, like so loving.
That's good on the writing too, though.
Yes, it is. And I also, so here's a fascinating piece for the amount of work that Tom, especially Tom, he who departed early, and you know, I'm definitely mediocre on this show, or not mediocre, I guess.
You're middle ground.
Yeah, there we go. I think the show itself is mediocre. I guess turning a 180 on that. We've spent the majority of the time really talking about how great these fucking actors are, and I think that's one of the things to like really take away is, like, regardless of what you think, and you can have a lot of loaded thoughts. The fucking the people who like really do it. I love the Tom. The people who actually get the fucking work done.
Yeah.
Like. Doing the show, they're fucking doing the show. Like they really are, and I think that's
the practical effects are great too. Like I really like the costuming and the makeup and.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I guess
Lanfear had some transformations throughout the season that I really liked. You know.
Yeah.
We're kind of joking about the short hair, long hair thing, but like, you know, like that having a different appearance in the World of Dreams, having an appearance in the
Fine's good on it.
When she was finally, I'm Lanfear now, and her costumes changed even in the real world, I was like, okay, I love this.
The esteemed Leslie Anus sent me a lovely message about how much she fucking loved the costumes, and if there's anyone who knows about costuming, it's her.
On that level,
I feel like we're going to see Lanfear at Jordan.
Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like.
So the thing I didn't necessarily enjoy is the idea of the way she's just kind of like shoehorned in as random innkeeper seemed kind of like.
So I will say,
all right,
I like the fact that they gave Rand and Celine like a relationship, because that will make it much more difficult in the future. Like in the books, he was in the little parallel universe for a little bit, and now he's so in love with Celine, right? It
was easy for him to throw that aside in the books, and I think, I agree with that. The idea that Lanfear would be okay with being an innkeeper is laughable at best.
She wasn't an
but she didn't. Though. Yeah, to your point, but she didn't. She like clearly never lifted a finger. She was like, give them free drinks or something. I don't care. I'm gonna be gone for like 6 hours. Like it was clearly she wasn't really like doing the job.
Nah, she did nothing. She probably wasn't even there most nights.
That's
that
very
Rand wasn't
sexist,
there.
Man.
Will you stop it? But I also think it seems like a very Lanfear thing to do, because while she knows Rand is the dragon reborn, Jono,
Not the dragon.
Reborn.
He's not Luz.
Reborn.
Yes, she doesn't know how much of Luz is still in there. You know what
Luz
I mean?
Baron.
I don't know.
Jono, stop it.
So it made more sense, and she kind of does it in the book by presenting herself as Selene to try to.
How is Selene and Keeper different from that? So not really. That's the point. She sucked it up for a while in the books. That's a very good point, Nomengarden.
But she was okay being. On the other hand, clearly the merchant obese. Not to actually sound like a quick joke about it. The fact
I don't know.
She's
So ugly, which is something that she like is very.
It's the muscle, right? It's the exact opposite of. So I think that there is something a little more to it, unless of course, like we find out that like reading the next page, like she could not stand innkeepers. Like, oh my god, it's amazing that she would actually been to that level. But yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was a good way for her to get to know Rand, to figure out how she was going to. Where with Selene in the book, I was like, why is he so? Oh, it almost seemed like the Selene in the book had to abuse compulsion, because why are you so into her? Like,
well, we started with like a more adult relationship with Egwene and Rand in season 1, so like why not advance with a more adult relationship between Lanfear and Rand in season 2? And I'm fine with all of that. Like that, none of that bothered me at all.
I wish there had been more sex.
Are you talking about the show or just your home life?
I think that's.
Wish there had been more sex.
She's not listening.
She could come in and just hit you in the back of the head and then like leave. Like.
Well, I mean, she's a blow-up doll, Ebony, so that she's not really capable of doing that.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But Jono's got to be excited about the way AI is trending, because pretty soon she will be able to move.
So that's not really my gig. I don't really like that.
No, he doesn't like when they move. That's what.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Next
that
scene.
is good to know.
I'm really glad we got to Little Smoke Boys before Lanfear. That made me happy.
That was fantastic. I'm so good when you pulled up.
Which, by the way, is actually in no way related and concerning. Joe's work password is just Little Smoke Boys.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. No, I mean, no one needs to know that. No one needs to know that.
Tag the
I mean, it's supposed to be something you never guess. All right, guys, I do have to go though, because I have to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. And
it's getting late. I think for the first time in many, many episodes, let's end this at a regular-ish time.
What's your final thought on Lanfear?
All right. Final thought on Lanfear. Jono, go.
I don't understand the end. I think that I like this fact, like this weird thing that what's his name? I'm gonna come out with more than Ishamael is saying, she's betrayed us, that kind of thing, and the way that she said, Rand al'Thor made the light look after you, kind of thing. It brings up a lot of questions that, maybe they're fantastic questions, because again, like I said, I like what they do with her trajectory and other trajectories to like bring more of a backstory to it. But the fact that she said the light kind of thing, is that?
I think that's just because she still loves him and she knows the dark one.
Well, she knows the dark one's not going to protect him.
Yeah,
right.
I didn't see that as her being like, I'm wishy-washy. I saw that as her just being like, this is who you care about.
Oh, I think it shows that she regrets turning to the dark, which, you can regret.
She didn't get what she wanted. She didn't get what she wanted by turning to the dark. So
yet, guess what?
So
she's still there for round 2.
I think.
All right, Tom, you go.
I was going to say. I think I'm going to say the same thing that you're going to say, though. I think they're building up to that to the story of Lanfear wanting to do the third party thing of like go with Rand and kill the Dark One and take over and rule. And I think that's what they're leaning into.
Yeah.
That is
my final thought on that. Is I think that's what they're doing with her, and I like that, and I hope that they continue with it.
Okay, yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I would say a tiny bit, only a little. I agree with what you're saying, Tom. A little bit more than that. I think the season as a whole kind of dealt with dark friends in general, like the possibility that Moraine's sister might have been one, and then and Barthanes, her son, like that kind of thing. Like, and weirdly, they've dropped the ball with Ingtar. I don't know why. It was a perfect example to keep that theme going throughout the rest of the season. But like, they were dealing with like Leandrin and Lanfear herself, and like what it meant to like sign on to the dark, and like what that meant, and like, or who these people are, and they're more fleshed out as characters in the show than they were in the books per se. And Lanfear seemed more believable to me, weirdly. Like instead of this like obsessed psychopath that's just like in love with Lews Therin, I will do anything to get back with him, even though it's for the wrong reasons that's already failed beforehand. It seems like she's actually attempting a tactic that might actually work. So in terms of the show, it feels like it's a more well-rounded take on her character in terms of like, I'm going to try to get Rand to actually trust and believe in me, while also fucking over Ishamael and doing my thing.
I think they're doing that with all the Forsaken well.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. And we'll see what the other Forsaken, and we've only seen Old Mog for like a second, but like, we'll see, well, as they progress, like maybe, because I agree, like Ishamael, I think they did a great job with him as well. But maybe we're going to see a little bit more of an actual arc and story with Lanfear as the seasons progress.
I just hope they don't make like all of the men. I was jealous of Lews Therin, man.
Well, truncating it down into 8, like I feel like we're not going to get that. Hopefully, we won't.
They have to spread those stories around, right?
I'm just glad that they're going to push them around a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
Ebony, what's your last thoughts on Lanfear before we're out?
I agree with you guys. I do like the fact that they mentioned that Ishi, Lanfear, and Lews were all the best of friends.
Yeah.
Right? So it does feel like that.
Do you think they're going to show that 3-way or no?
You never know. It might be a flashback cold open. So I think we could clearly see that Lanfear did not want to share Lews with Ishi. She didn't want it to be the way it was before, for whatever reason, which is why she was trying to take Ishi out, and she was going to put the rest of the Forsaken in the ocean, and it was just going to be her and Rand. And she wouldn't have to be necessarily evil anymore. She could just go be with Rand.
Right. Okay. What about her dumping?
Simple answer.
Oh fuck! So that like
no, we don't have time to talk about it, John.
No, we don't have time for it, John. I gotta go to sleep.
We don't have time to talk about that.
That's just a tease for Jono.
It's a tease for next week.
Why is he wearing Gleeman's robe?
He was a Gleeman.
What were you saying, John?
I was gonna say, I given her ability to like clearly travel or teleport or apparate, however we want to jokingly say it, from the ways. Why does she need Beldoman to dump the seal? Like, why does she just dump it? Why does she just dump it?
Well, so here's the thing: we never see how they actually transport them, right? You have to see
True.
So, and maybe to her, it's just menial work. Like I'm not gonna do that.
She's like, I'm gonna give you a bunch of fucking rocks, sail them out to the middle of nowhere because you're an asshole that'll do this for me.
Yeah,
okay, all right. I don't mind that. That's a reasonable response to me.
I don't know. Like that's anyway.
All right. Well, I guess that's tWoTcast for this week. You know,
that's a good line to end on Wyatt Man's.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's find it. I slept with Ray's sister. Now it burns my. Thank you.
The more you know.
Was she alive? Because that's presumably.
Well, we don't know. We don't know, Jono, and we'll never know. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. In theory, we'll get better at responding to them. You can listen to the audio version of this show wherever you get your podcasts. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington and Androbart of Time. Links to their stuff is also below. Of course, I put Tom and Ebony's links to Dragonmount down below as well. Thank you guys for coming to spend this time with us.
Of course.
And discuss season 2. Because Other Tom is the worst, and he hates me.
I love him.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I love Tom, but I mean,
he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he is the worst.
I'm not wrong.
You can like somebody and also say that they're a piece of shit.
I can love Tom and also acknowledge that he's a horrible
Tom's
person.
a piece of shit. Yeah.
Join us next episode. We're gonna do more of this. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about season 2 some more.
Quick interjection. I'm just excited for, as far as I know right now, the U.S. is winning 4-0 over Ghana, and
Okay. Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna go watch this game in a minute.
All right. I'm Joe. Say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
Tom? Tom, that's what you said goodnight. Ebony?
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
I was staring blankly.
Oh,
That's the real
man.
Tom.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast goal.